But
There's no way that that's a full plane.
you're making a lot of assumptions, though, that there's not a lot of people, that
Yeah,
it
I'm
costs
sorry,
them
but
more
I
money.
think we know that the most highly priced tickets online have very few passengers. That's a fact. If you want to pretend that's not a fact, go ahead. But I know how the airlines work, and I know how the economy works, and I know how people work,
So
and they
it's
don't have that kind of money traditionally. So it's only the elites that are flying that. First off, only the wealthy are flying that and dropping $6,000 on a fucking ticket. So yeah, of course it's going to be lower population on that flight consistently because of the price of the ticket and the distance.
okay.
There's
So
not a high population of people migrating from Sydney to and Perth to fucking Johannesburg, South Africa. It's not, and from the Middle East. It's not like some huge migration thread. That's why it's so expensive. My point is logistically doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense. They're
what
not filling
I think
planes. They're
that
not filling jets.
what about Santiago to New Zealand? There's
Once
direct
again,
there's direct
the
flights on
planes
that.
exist. I think what our friend proved, thankfully, because again, like I've been down these roads, like I know what people are going to say. I already know. Like, and I'm like, this idea, like, I'm like, okay, so a single plane makes the distance. Great. What does that prove? That you can do it. Period. So
Yeah,
why all the double stops? Why the single stops? Why would you expend all that extra fuel? Why would you expend all that extra distance?
because
Because
it's more complicated than
because
you're giving it
if the
credit for.
world were if the world if the world were actually the way that you're saying it, more there would be more than a single flight to reference making that flight. Period. Full stop. I mean, come
have
on.
you
No, you have it
have
kind
you
of backwards.
considered timing the flight?
The
I don't
fact that
think
there's
so. I don't.
one flight completely disproves your whole point.
Not at all.
As long as
Because
you can book that
the
flight,
planes actually do exist that can cover that distance. It
and
doesn't disprove my point.
it
What it
does.
does is it proves my point.
How does
They
it
have the
prove your
planes that
point?
can do the distance.
So that
So
doesn't
why not use those more consistently?
just because they have planes that can do the flight doesn't mean every flight needs to be direct.
I would say that you would have more than one flight to reference to make your point.
One flight is
The
all it
point
needs to
for the
make a
flight
point.
is also
No,
the time.
you need more than one. That's not how science works. Oh, a single flight just disproved. No,
That
sorry.
is how it works because
No, it's not. No, it's not. No,
before
it's
this
not.
conversation
You
started,
would need constant disproof in order for that to be the case.
that flight flies every week.
And once again, so everybody can see it,
Okay.
what we have are hundreds of flights that stop in the Middle East. We do not have hundreds of your flights.
So
Okay?
because that
So
flight,
this idea that you're the rule and this is the exception is nonsense.
if that flight flies multiple times a week, that is more than enough proof to prove that flights can do that route.
Yeah, no
End of
kidding.
story.
Which means you wouldn't need to constantly stop in the fucking Middle East.
End
My
of
point is,
story.
you would have more than
It's not
if
the end
it's
of the
so
story. You
possible,
must
then you would have
time the
more.
flight.
What?
You would have literal multiple flights that would be able to do it. Yep. It does not disprove anything that you have a single flight that does that. That doesn't disprove anything.
Okay, so hold on. Right before this conversation started, your claim was there are no flights that do it, right?
Yeah, because conventionally available, as you can see, to the mass of people, it isn't.
But your story changed real quick when he showed you one.
You have to know the exact flight plane number in order to search that out. And that is lunacy. That's being concealed.
That doesn't
and you want
mean
to
it's
sit here and
fake.
pretend that that's conventionally available to the public? It is not.
Okay, so what about the Qantas flights to Australia from South America? They exist. They exist as well.
My point is that the conventional bulk of that travel does exactly what I'm saying. So you can't disprove that because it's true.
I think your point was that they didn't exist, and they were shown to have existed today. So I'm not sure how you're backtracking.
And you know what? I can admit that, oh my God, there's one. And you know what? It's a fact that it's being concealed.
All right, so
it's a fact
let's move on.
that you can't just access it from the public. I can't just like go to Google and book a Qantas 63. Why? Why?
That's fine. That's fine. Let's move on. So your point is one exists.
No, answer the question. Answer the question.
One exists, but it's fake.
No. Why is it your flight aggregated into the search? Answer it.
I'm sure it is. I'm not searching it right now, but I'm sure you could find it.
It isn't. You can't find that flight in Google. Why is it that every other flight line, what are you serious?
Why don't you try
This
to
shit is
book
being
it?
concealed from the public.
Try to
Your
book it.
flight trajectory is being concealed from the public, and the bulk of those flights are not that flight, but always stop in the Middle East.
Why don't you
Truth,
try to book
facts, baseline information.
try to
You
book it?
can't disprove the truth.
Try to book it.
There's no theory in what I just said to you. I just said the truth. Your flight, your single flight, is being concealed from the public. The
Okay,
bulk
that's
of
fine.
data on this subject does not do what you are saying.
That's fine. I understand. So the
Okay,
moral of the story
so
is
I'm being truthful and honest. I'm
okay.
not sitting
I
here
got your point.
spinning anything.
The flight exists, but it's not real, is what you're saying.
What I'm saying is there's a reason it's being concealed and not conventionally available to
What's
the
the reason?
public.
What's the
Yes.
reason? It doesn't exist,
God
right?
only knows. You tell me, why is your one flight piece of evidence
It's
not
your
available to the conventional public?
it's your claim, so you can tell us why
No,
you
it's
think it's being
yours.
concealed.
My flights are available to the public. I have hundreds of my flights. You have a single flight not available to the public.
You haven't determined that flight is not available to the public. You're just
I
claiming
know
that.
that it's not on Google. If it were a conventional flight, it would be available on Google alongside everything else.
You really haven't given it your all to try to find it.
But Google aggregates the data for the entire freaking internet, and that flight would be available alongside everybody else if it were conventionally available. If you don't know the phrase Qantas 63, you're never going to find it.
You
So
sure about
this
that?
idea that this is ridiculous. It's absolute ridiculous. It's like insulting to my intelligence that somehow this concealed single flight is the definitive, and all of these other hundreds of flights, we're going to rule those out.
You haven't
What?
tried very hard to find it, though. I'll be honest. I mean, have you?
Tried hard to find what?
The flight to see if it's see if
I'll
it's
do it
available to
again.
book.
I've done it already. I've done this hundreds of times. I'll do it for you again. This idea that I haven't tried to do it. Tell me where it is. Tell me where it is. This is Google Flights, your flight, completely concealed from the conventional public. There is no zero stop flights available to the conventional public.
I mean, I'm seeing.
Period.
Okay, so I'm seeing comments. He said he found it on Expedia. Do you want to try there?
Okay.
That would be public, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't know if it is.
Search Qantas 63.
I don't know. Just put in the cities.
Yeah, and all of a sudden Google's blocking out Expedia. Okay, sure. Makes total sense. Makes total sense, everybody. Why wouldn't Google report it? Google's not reporting your flight. Okay? So that's a truth. That's fact. Now, to me, it is suspect that Google wouldn't. But what were my search parameters again? Sydney? Yeah. Flights, not stays. Sydney. Okay. Going to Johannes.
Can't really see your screen. Are you on Expedia website?
Yep, sure.
Why are you doing Munich?
Oh, what? Because that's what it came up. Hold on.
I don't even remember where we're going anymore, I'll be honest with you.
Sydney to Johannesburg. What? Stop searching. There it is.
Does Expedia, I don't know, I guess, does it show everything? I don't even know.
I mean, this is some. Well, I also, what is interesting to me is that.
Hold on, there's a Qantas.
Yeah,
that looks direct.
There's the one nonstop. So,
okay.
So there we have.
So
our
it's publicly
single
available.
Okay, but not aggregated by Google. Okay.
So now it has to be aggregated by Google. I mean, it is publicly available on Expedia.
Does not Google aggregate the internet? Yes or no?
Does it matter?
It does.
Why? So now it's publicly available.
Hold on. It matters because it's the truth.
I just want to understand something. Can we be honest with each other?
Okay.
You're not being. You're kind of being a little disingenuous.
I'm really not. because I just searched Google and the flight isn't there, and Google does indeed aggregate the internet. So you want to pretend that that's not the truth. I'm simply
No,
stating the
I
truth.
didn't say it
It's not
wasn't. I believe you.
disingenuous to state the truth, sir.
I believe
Thank
you.
you.
I believe you
Thank
that.
you on my channel when I'm sitting here stating the truth, as I have just seen it and shown the world, literally in real time. I searched Google for your flight, not there.
I,
Google aggregates the internet.
I
So,
believe you.
do you think people are going to Google more or to Expedia? What
I,
is the answer?
I'm not
The
sure.
answer is clearly Google. So, this idea that that's not important isn't disingenuous, and I don't appreciate your comment.
That's fine. I believe you that Google is not showing it because we watched
Okay?
you do it.
So
But
this idea that somehow Expedia and its proof every other flight is fucking 1 and 2 stops. Okay, so you're one single flight, okay, available on a smaller site, much smaller. Hold on, should we track the traffic of Expedia.com? Visitors to Expedia. This is what I do. This idea, okay. Expedia ranks 7th. Okay, 18.8 million users. All right, visitors to Google. God damn. You gonna make me prove this fucking point? 82.6 billion.
so now it's
Your
just,
information is being concealed.
but now it's just less
Point.
public. Is the claim? It's
Point.
less public.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely less public.
cool.
Proof in the pudding. Less public.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Absolutely. There's your proof.
Mhm.
It's literally true. It is true.
So let me ask you a
Your
question.
flight, this one single flight you have that literally proves that planes can do the distance, which is exactly what that is. That one single flight is
So
not being broadcast to the 82.6 billion Google users, but is being broadcast to the 18 million Expedia users. That's what you've proven.
can you try one thing for me on the Google search? I believe there's a way to turn on direct only. Can you do that and see what comes up? Just so we can settle it. I guess that'll settle it, whether Google's hiding it or not.
It literally makes no sense that I wouldn't find it on their list of
Maybe it's just hidden.
75 flights.
Maybe it's just buried. There's a lot of flights, I'm guessing.
Nope. Not
Can't really.
buying. Not buying this one flight is somehow
So where's the option
proof
for
of the
direct?
ball. It's not one flight is proof of a ball. That's just not how things work. Sydney to Johannesburg again. We're doing the same fucking thing again.
All right.
Okay. Stops.
Here we go. All right, let's see what we got.
There it is, buddy. Have fun. Have fun with that piece of data point.
Scroll up a bit.
Like, whatever it is, this is the truth, right? So I'm not going to spin the truth.
But can you,
as we have just concluded,
hold on.
Allow me to please say this. Hold on.
Before you,
Allow me to please say this. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. The truth that we have just discovered together in unison is that, in fact, your single flight that goes nonstop is actually being concealed by Google, is being broadcast by the 18 million users on Expedia. But I'm sure if I were to add up any other website that flight is available to, the users drop dramatically. So Google is hiding the Qantas 63 flight from its users, which is 82 billion users.
Can we try one more thing? Can you change the date? Is that set to today?
Yeah. What do you want me to do? Put it out?
Try a different day. Try the day that Expedia had the flight. Maybe there's no flights today. Is that only set to today?
I mean, I'm not getting anything, dude. I mean, I see these things when I click them. Nothing else comes up though.
There's prices, so that must mean there's
prices
flights, right?
come up, but nothing, no data comes up. Like nothing. If I choose this and I go done.
Uh-oh.
There it is.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so let's just summarize. All right, can you admit there are nonstop flights?
Yeah, there is a nonstop flight.
Okay.
But again, I don't think that's disproof of anything, because it simply says that if that were conventionally normal and able to do, that I wouldn't have 1,000 flights like mine and only one like yours. It would actually, this is the conclusion as I see it. So to me, I'm willing to admit when I'm not perfect. I'm just a fucking human being. I'm going to say, okay, great. You have a single flight. What that proves, as I see it, is that the flight can be done and should be more available than a single flight. We are seeing the single flight. One flight does not disprove an idea. That is not how it works. And I'm going to stand on these laurels because I understand that I'm over here looking at hundreds and thousands of other flights that are not nonstop, and you have one
So,
clearly not easily available, right? It's
right.
not just like you gotta know
Well,
about Qantas 63 in order for that to work. You
no, you
have to
don't.
know.
That's not true at all.
Yes,
Come
you
on.
fucking do.
All you had to
Yes,
do,
you do.
all you had to do was put in nonstop and the correct date. So if you put in nonstop and then if you remove nonstop right now and leave that date, I
Yeah,
bet you
but
it'll
the
show up
point
in the
is like
list.
most people don't necessarily like understand. My point is that Google, okay, is clearly generating not that flight
Google,
easily clickable to the populace. Is that not obvious? No, my
no,
point
it's
is
not. It's not obvious. We
it
just
is.
found
It
it.
is. It is. And the point is that if what you were saying is so easy to do and that there's one flight, why don't you have 100? Okay, so this idea is like, okay, so only one flight, and somehow that makes it a ball.
No, I didn't say
What
that. I didn't. I never made that claim. See, you made the claim that
is that?
that
Not the claim you've been making this whole time?
no, you made the claim that flight routes
How is
prove
that
flat
not the claim?
Earth.
No, I'm simply stating that logistics wise, it doesn't make sense to traverse continents to pick a few people up. That's not going to cover your
So,
costs.
so show us the cost model of the airline to prove that that's true.
Okay. Well, I'm not here to sit here and dive into because I know what I'm talking about. You you
I'm
you, you
afraid you
want
don't.
to calculate the fuel. Hold on. You want to do it? Do it yourself. You
No,
take the
because
distance across. Hold on here. Here's what you're gonna do.
no, I don't. I
Here's what
don't
you're
want to
gonna do. I'll
calculate.
tell.
I
I'll
don't
tell
want to
you what
calculate
you're
fuel
gonna go do.
costs.
No. You're gonna come on my channel. Tell me what to go do.
I
I'll tell you what to go do.
I
What
don't.
you're gonna go
Okay.
do is you're gonna go and you're gonna calculate how much it costs to traverse Africa
Shit.
with current fuel prices, okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna say, how long is it from Johannesburg to fucking Qatar? And you're gonna calculate the cost in modern gas prices,
Okay.
what that would cost any airline to do.
Okay.
You're
But
not gonna tell me what to go and look at. I'm gonna tell you what to go and look at. What
you,
I want you to do is figure out how much gas costs to traverse a fucking continent. And
but
you want to tell me that somehow your single flight disproves the entire? No, it doesn't.
real.
This idea, it does not. And the reason it doesn't is because you got. If I want to, okay, what's the fucking distance? I know now. I gotta know from Qatar, South Africa distance, right? How far is that? Okay. And what do they burn? How much gas you think that burns? How much you think that costs? Try to wrap your damn mind around that for a second. Seriously.
Make sure you take.
This idea that you couldn't even fill up that jet and still cover that cost. You are traversing a continent with modern fuel prices. It doesn't add up. Okay?
Make sure you
So
take
if
into
your flight
account.
was so available and so conventional and so definitive, you would not be burning all that fuel at $5 a gallon to traverse Africa. It doesn't add up. Now, if I'm going to pull up the freaking globe so you can see how this doesn't add up, in an era of extremely inflated fuel prices, we will do that because it doesn't add up. This is it. If you are in a recession and you are a company, you do what is the lowest cost that achieves the objective. Simple as that.
Right.
That's the law of capitalism.
Which could
Okay?
be, that they need to stop there to drop and transfer passengers so that they can reload and then drop those
And
passengers.
burn
Yes, because
insane levels of fuel traversing more continents.
yeah,
Okay, makes
yes,
total
because this is
sense.
how
When you
this
could
is
cover, when you could literally fly over the ocean itself and just get them there.
because
Okay,
this is how
so
this is how
we're gonna
airlines
look.
work. Real.
We're gonna do this, and we're gonna dive
All
deep
right.
into airline logistics because that's what this is.
Yeah,
You
let's
want to
keep it.
sit here and claim we're gonna look at the Indian Ocean. Okay.
We can do this
We
if you
know.
take more into account than just fuel prices. Okay, you're gonna have to do it all.
Okay.
Do it all. You can't
Right, right.
Don't leave variables out. Okay, you got to
I
do
know we got to
passengers.
traverse entire continents for your logic, but I know
No,
the
because
Occam's razor of flight logistics doesn't make sense to you. I
look,
got that.
this is
So
very.
what we're gonna do? Yeah,
God.
I'm sorry, but the simplest answer is indeed the right one. And when it comes to cost, when it comes to everything, Occam's razor and flight logistics is definitively applied. Okay, they
Yep.
are absolutely not going to traverse continents. They don't absolutely have to traverse.
Do you know
This
why
isn't
they
like-
do? But you know why they do.
I'm sorry, but this idea that you can't just go
Here we go.
directly from here, right? You're here,
Uh-huh.
and there it is. Okay, we're gonna go all the way over here, and then we're gonna go all the way. It's like, get
But-
the fuck out of here.
But making silly voices doesn't make your point right.
Of course, there's a flight that covers it.
It doesn't make your point
Of course,
right.
there's a flight that covers it.
There's
Of course, there's a flight that covers it. You're telling me the hundreds of flights that are available are going to go whee all the way across the continent, not stop once, and then all the way across another continent, not stop once. Right.
Okay.
Makes total sense, bro.
Can I explain it to you now, or you want to keep going?
Oh, go ahead. Let's hear why they have to traverse 2 continents to go across an ocean.
So we found. Okay, first off, you admitted we found a flight that flies multiple times a week direct, right?
Yeah, because they can do it.
Okay, right. So hold on.
Yeah, it's a traversable distance.
Right, it is, and they do it, right? So, I mean, I don't even know why we're still talking about it. We showed that we can do it, so I don't even know why we're still talking about it. But so if that flight, listen. If that flight covers the demand, okay, why do they need? Why do all the other airlines need to do it if there's no demand to require it? So first question.
Exactly.
Secondly,
so again,
listen. Hold on.
One single flight never fills up. Right, you're exactly right. So your one single flight never fills up, and somehow that's supposed to cover the logistics costs. Like, your shit doesn't make sense, and it just doesn't make sense.
It does.
So
you know why?
The only way to cover costs on that distance, buddy, is to fill the damn jet. And you know what they're not doing? Filling that damn jet.
Where's your proof they're not filling the jet?
They're not filling the jet.
That was your proof? You just saying it again was your proof?
$10,000. No, I'm sorry. It's not how the economy works.
Okay, well, listen. I'm trying to explain to you, but you won't let me explain it. The reason there's a layover.
Okay. Please teach me.
The reason there's a layover in Dubai.
I just need to be taught.
Are we having a conversation here or not? Because you just want to talk over me.
You've been talking down to me this whole time, so we're just gonna call it.
I've been talking down to you?
Bro, like I've been
talking down to you. You've been making funny voices and shit the whole time.
You, Globe Man, Maria, the whole fucking gang of you. I'm done with it. Okay? I'm fucking done with it. The way you fucking troll us, the way you fucking talk shit behind our backs, the way you fight and report our fucking accounts, the way this war is going down, I am fucking done with it. Okay? And I can see through the crap, and I can see through your shit, and I'm over it. Okay?
Qantas QX63.
Okay? Goodbye.
Qantas.
Done.